Hey, folks, this is Jay from Jaytalk. And, of course, we have our wonderful, groovy Nick from the Nick Drop.
Groovy, baby.
I threw that in because, the whole dance thing I was doing earlier. So,
Yeah, you guys should have seen it. Jay started dancing.
whatever.
Did.
Yeah, it was not a good dance. Not by any means. It really wasn't. Oh, it was funny. Yeah. So, okay, before we get started on the show, I want to do one thing. So, some people might be wondering, what kind of equipment we use for our podcast.
Right.
So, I'm going to share. So, I use a microphone, and I don't know if you guys can see it. So, that's my microphone. It's a Audio Technica AT2035. And I will.
And I need to get me one of those.
I'll be honest with you. I've been very pleased with it. I really have. Even when Nick was here, it was a really good mic. It's got. Yeah. If you turn it up, if you turn the gain up, it will pick up a lot of stuff in the house. But if you turn the gain down where you really want it, it doesn't pick up much. It really makes the kind of cleanup really easy.
Maybe I need to figure out how to do that. Turn the gain up and down on mine. I don't know if my system has gains up.
Well, the volume, the gain, just a little bit.
Oh, there's not like a different knob for gain?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I've been very impressed. I've really have enjoyed the mic. Does a really good job.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. What?
I like it to the point of where I want to buy one because my mic is good, but like I'm in my room with the door closed and the door's about 6-7 feet away, but my apartment is 50 feet from the swimming pool.
Right.
You can hear kids in there playing Marco Polo or whatever, screaming and hollering. You can hear them on my mic.
Right. Well, and so the other thing I like about this is mine's somewhat of a directional mic. You have to have it turn a certain way to be able to pick up perfectly on your voice.
So there's two different kinds of mics. There's a condenser mic.
Yes.
And what's the other one?
Oh, I don't know the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that we have are condensers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that was kind of the point when Junior started going to college, they actually sent him one of these, and we were testing out all this equipment because he has to have it for his classes. That's just part of his production.
Right.
And I was very impressed with this one. I actually liked it a lot. So when we went to do the podcast, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to pick up one of those. And I am so glad I did. I picked up a second one. So that way, when I have guests in the house, for our whatever, different podcasts with different people, I have two of them and it really works really well. And it's not bad. I mean, we may have them across the desk from each other, but they don't pick up on each other horribly bad. They really don't.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clean. I've been pretty impressed. So I just wanted to share that with people in case you're wanting to do your own podcast, you're wanting to do your own thing, or if you're just looking for a microphone for streaming, these are really nice. They really are.
I like yours a lot, enough to where I want to buy one of yours and get rid of mine.
Right. Now, I will tell you, I don't say it's expensive, but it's got a decent price tag on it.
Right.
It's $150.
Yeah. I've got it in my Amazon, whatever you call it, in my list when I'm ready to buy.
Oh, okay. You should put it on your gift list. Maybe a fan will buy it for you.
Oh, there you go.
So
anybody?
Yeah.
Fry, Bueller.
Anyway. So, okay, dude. We talked about can't please everyone.
Right.
At the end of last episode.
Yes.
And I was supposed to mark it on the whiteboard, and of course I didn't. And forgot.
But you remember.
No, I had to go back and listen to the episode just to remember.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I did. So I was like, I gotta go back and find that and I actually had a great idea for another episode
All right.
and promptly forgot it before I wrote it on the right whiteboard.
I do that.
I mean, it was a wonderful episode. It was going to be perfect for you too. So I was like, shit. So
Well, this can't please everybody thing is my problem.
yeah,
I'm
but
full. I
but you're
want to
not the
please
other one.
everybody.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of people like that. Come on.
You know what? Now that we're saying that, I need to clarify a few things about I've misrepresented myself on probably several podcasts.
Okay.
Was saying that I'm empathic. I am not empathic. I
Wait.
don't know why I was coming up with
No.
empathic.
Empathy.
See, but I was saying that I was empathic.
No, you were saying you were empathetic. Or no. You're right. Empathic.
Right.
You're right.
I am I'm an empathetic person.
Yes.
And so I said I'm an empath. That's why I was joking with you the other day. I'm empathetic. If you take the imp out, I'm just plain old pathetic.
Yeah,
but I
so you
mean,
got to leave the imp in because you're short. You look like an imp, and I'm just teasing, dude.
about all that pathetic. Yeah.
I'm just teasing. Either
But
way,
I think I'm mismatched my words in saying that I was empathic. No, I'm not empathic. I'm an empathetic person.
okay,
I'm the opposite of a narcissist.
okay,
I'm more concerned about everybody else's feelings than my own.
yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
I've said that. People have told you that before, so it's not uncommon.
And it's hard for me. Like, you see people out there and they get a hobby and they're all into it and they're gung ho. I'm going to be interested in whoever I'm around,
Yes,
if that makes sense to you.
yes.
Started hanging around a bunch of guys and they rode motorcycles. Guess what? Bought a motorcycle.
They bought a place in Bandera. Guess
I
what?
bought a place in Bandera. Yeah, that's exactly right. Pleasing everybody instead of worrying about myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my motorcycle. I love to ride. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it. I've talked about it, but I love my place in Bandera, although it is up for sale.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a situation that now that I'm not friends with the guy that's across the street from me, it's going to be very awkward every time I go up there. And now it's getting to the point now where I don't want to go up as often as I did.
Yeah, what's the point of having it if you don't go up there to be there?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, and my real estate lady that sold it to me, she's blown me off for 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah.
Can't please everyone.
I texted her yesterday and I'm like, hey, do you need anything else from me? No response.
She doesn't want to sell it.
Why wouldn't she want to? She's going to make money off the deal. She doesn't have to do anything.
Find another real estate agent.
Well, I'll probably start working on that next week.
Okay.
Because I'm not in no dire need to get rid of it.
I know. But the market's really good.
I could triple my money right now.
Yeah, dude.
So that's one of those things of pleasing everybody. I need to learn to not do that.
Right.
I need to learn to please me first. And that's hard for me because when I say that, in my mind, it means that I have to be arrogant. You know what I mean? If I'm going to take care of me, if I'm going to take care of me, screw your feelings, screw everybody else's feelings. I'm going to do me.
Okay.
That's where my struggle is, to learn to not try to please everybody.
Right. Okay, so do you think I'm arrogant?
No.
Okay, and I am like the worst person of I'm completely confrontational. I'm but you know what I'm talking about. I actually am very much, it's sort of like with the whole job thing. Okay, I got to look out for my kids. I can't travel. Well, we need you to, no, sorry, it can't happen. But no, I'm sorry.
See, in my mind, I know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But the way I would do it, I'd be like, well, we'll try to figure out something, and then I'll come home and I'll be like, all right, kids, wife, if we were married and all that stuff, and I had kids living with them, I'm like, look, we're going to have to figure out a way. And I would spend countless hours trying to figure out how I could get somebody to take care of the kids while I'm out of town, making the boss happy, making the kids happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's a valid point. If I had a significant other, it would be a consideration.
Right.
But I don't have that.
But you would immediately say, even still,
I'm not an ass about it. I'm like, look, my kid comes first. I can't, he's 12. I have custody. That's my responsibility.
Right.
And no offense to the job, but that's my number one responsibility. Being a father is the first responsibility.
But let's look at that. If you can't find a job because the industry that we're in is forcing you to travel,
then I'll work in a different industry.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to make concessions.
Yep.
Drastic concessions because of that.
Yes.
And
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
My priority is to my kid, and I will not make concessions when it comes to my kids. Right. 100%. I know people don't understand that, but that whatever boat has sailed, whatever you want to say, I'm not doing it anymore. You know?
There's nothing wrong with that. I love the integrity of the fact that you do that, but I'm more like, I got to figure this out. I can't, I got to have the job. I can't, how do I do this? And I would stress over it and lose hair, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't find that happy medium between being arrogant and, because I'm always trying.
But it's not being arrogant. How am I being arrogant? I'm just setting my priorities.
I'm not pointing that arrogance at you. I'm talking about I can't decipher the difference between pleasing everybody and pleasing myself to the point of arrogance.
Okay.
I got a unbelievably great example.
Okay, good.
Oh, my dad's 79 years old.
Yes.
He's had 3 heart surgeries in the last year and a half.
Yes.
And he's worried. He's like, look, I'm not going to be living on this earth much longer. And believe it or not, now, my stepdad and mother have been divorced for 40 years.
Yeah.
Okay? They still maintain a relationship. They're still cordial. I mean, everything's fine. The lady that he's been married to for almost 40 years is like a stepmom to me. I mean, she's always been there. She's always done things for us. There's been a little rift between her and my mom. That's normal, because the relationships are changed or whatever. So with all that being said, my mother called me and said, look, St. Patrick's Day is a big deal in my family because of the Irish thing, right?
Yes.
So mom says, I'm buying you, your brother, your dad, and your sister shirts for St. Patrick's Day. Now, these aren't just T-shirts, buddy. These are silk, button-down, short-sleeve, untuckable shirts.
Yeah.
Very upscale, very classy shirts that have something to do with,
Yes.
And these shirts weren't cheap. I think they were $75 to $100 a piece, and she bought 4 of them.
Right.
One of them was back ordered. But anyway, so to make the short story, I've got 5 siblings that have been married and divorced, and so I've got 2 older sisters and 3 younger brothers. The youngest brother is about to turn 40, and he's not doing so well in life. Okay, so him and my half brother have been fighting like tooth and nail, and they're not getting along.
Right.
So my mother told me, she goes, you need to plan a night out with all the kids. You need to do it. And I'm thinking, why do I need to do it? I'm not the oldest kid. I'm not the, whatever. So I sent a text out to my sister and my 2 brothers, not the youngest one that's got an attitude.
Right.
Okay. And my half brother, Sean, texted back and said, I don't think Dad and Casey, the youngest one, are in a place, so we probably need to leave him out. So I did. So when I got a time frame, because Sean's the hardest one to lock down on a time frame, got a time frame, and I text dad, the old sister, and the two younger brothers, the four of us, right? Five of us, my dad and the four siblings,
Right.
not the fifth one. My dad flipped out. We are not going anywhere unless all of my children are there. You are not going to leave my one child out. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I'm going to appease my brother. I'm going to appease my mother. I'm going to make everybody happy and scoop this whole thing in. And it blew up in my face. Honest to God, the way I felt, I wanted to tell Sean in the text message, suck it up, dude. It's one night.
Yeah.
You know, before I even text my dad, I thought that. I'm like, if I was, having heart surgeries and I wanted a dinner with all of my children, I don't care if they're fighting or we're fighting, all of us are going to sit down and have a meal. And that's what I was thinking. But I appeased my brother and it blew up in my face. And dad pointed the finger all at me.
Yeah.
I ended up being the bad guy for the whole scenario.
Right.
Needless to say, it turned out okay. The youngest one decided that it wasn't a good idea that he was there. So we went and had a fantastic meal, told stories, cut up, had a great time.
Yeah.
But I'm still the bad guy of the situation. All because I was trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah. So you made your brother happy, but you pissed off your dad because you left out one.
Yes. And who's the last person I want to piss off?
Your dad.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
But
didn't. Yeah. So I mean, I understand exactly where you come from. I mean, in hindsight's 2020, you could have said something like, "Sean, let's see what Dad says," But you're just trying to make it happen. You're trying to get everyone there, and
right.
And if you'd have said that, he might not have responded with the right answer you wanted, and that's kind of what you're dealing with. So there's no way. I mean, we can look at this situation and play by play it. Oh, you could have done this, you could have done that, but no, dude. When you're in the situation, it's impossible to do that.
My brother was a stand-up guy too, because my dad said, "Sean, I really want to thank you for putting this together." And he goes, "Dad, I didn't do it. Nick did it all."
Good for him.
He looked at me and he gave me a big hug and he said, "Thank you." Yeah. So it turned out good, but I should have stood up to my brother and said, we're going to have to put our differences aside just for 3 or 4 hours, just for dinner. That's what I wanted to do. Oh no, I got to please everybody.
It's fair.
I get in those situations with myself all the time, even at work.
Really?
I think that I'm doing something good for everybody, and it turns around and bites me in the ass almost every time.
I can see that. You are a nice guy.
And it's not like I think about, okay, I'm going to be a nice guy today. It's second nature.
I know.
Before I even think about, I don't take a step back and go, okay, let's think about this.
Right.
I think about it, go. I'm going to make everybody happy, go. I've even taught my youngest one, who's 19, the same thing. He's always like me, trying to scrape right off my ass.
But the funny thing is you have no problems pointing out to people. So you're like, okay, we should do this, and they'll be like, but no, we're gonna do it this way, and you'll be like, okay, you're. But the funny thing is when they come back and they're like, you're right. You're like, yeah, I told you. Where's that confidence in the beginning?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to learn.
Okay.
The lady that I had been dating for a long time, couple years, almost 3, right?
Off and on. But yes.
Yeah. Every time, if I started craving something, like, oh my God, I want crawfish, or, I want to eat a steak at so-and-so, or, I want to go out to dinner on this night and do this. 100% of the time, plans always get changed. And I go, okay. And I never get what I want. I never get that steak that night. I might get it 2 weeks later, but, and I'll always make my way to where I get the steak or get the crawfish or whatever.
Right.
But 100% of the time, and this past weekend, a weekend before last, they were about to change the plans on me again. I said, if change the plans, I'm going to Uber to the crawfish place because I want me some boiled shrimp and crawfish.
Right.
And I was dead set. This is it. If you guys don't want it, go somewhere else.
Right.
And of course they went and we had a good time, but I was still anxious and the heart was pounding out of my chest because of the situation that I had to go through to get what I want. Then I felt arrogant and like, we're going to freaking do what I want, when I want, how I want, and right to you, and I sat back and I'm like, did I really want the shrimp that? And then I start feeling guilty.
Why?
I don't know. That's just, I don't know.
But here's the whole thing. We talk about this in our podcast. It's a give and take in any relationship. Okay. And I'm not talking about dating. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm talking about relationships, friends, family. Everything is a give and take. And if you're constantly giving and they're not giving back, or you're not taking some, there's a problem, yes. Because they have to give to you and you have to take it, Now, if they're giving to you and you're not taking, okay, that's a little bit on your fault.
Right.
Okay. But it is a give and take. If you want a steak today and they're like, I wasn't feeling like a steak. Can we go here? But we'll go to steak tomorrow. Okay. I could probably deal with that. 2 weeks later, no, I ain't dealing with that. If I want a steak, I'm getting a steak in the next 3 days, whether it's with or without you. See,
and that's not me because I'll say, okay, and I'll never get the steak. It'll be 2-3 weeks, a month before.
Right.
In those particular situations. I mean, we're just using steak as an example, but yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, my son, it's been really hard for him. And he's gotten better about it. I've been trying to teach him lately. He doesn't always like the food that some of his friends like to go eat. They want to go to this restaurant. He's not a big fan.
Right.
So what he'll do is he'll be like, okay, where are we going to eat? And they'll be like, well, we're going here. And he said, okay, I'll just bail out this time. And they're like, really? He said, yeah, I just not really in the mood for that food. And, but I don't want to stop you guys from going. So I'll just bail out. Okay. What's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with what he just did?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because his friends and him want to hang out and go get something to eat.
Yes.
So why can't all of you go, okay, we're not going to go to here. Give us some choices and we'll get together as a group and make a decision.
Well, sometimes somebody has got it in their head what they want to eat, and that's where they're going to go.
So that's the narcissist. That's the arrogant, cocky one that says, we're going to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. I have surrounded myself with people like that so that I didn't have to make the decision. I don't care where we eat.
Right. But see, the whole thing is he's not like that all the time.
I know, I get it.
It's only every once in a while he'd be like, I'm really in the mood for this. This is where this is where I want to go. And, this is, but here's the whole thing. He has to understand, not every time. If he wants to go to eat there, then sometimes he may have to go eat alone, because what if nobody else wants to go to that restaurant?
So it's not I get the point, but he should fare well. Like, he wants steak and they want Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
They'll go, okay, I'll slide on the steak, but we're going to go to steak the next time we go out.
Right.
I see that. I don't know about bailing.
Right.
Unless you're going to serve me liver and onions, I'll pretty much eat at any restaurant, anywhere.
My son's not like that.
Yeah. So, and maybe I should learn to be a little bit more precise. I wouldn't call it picky, but, I've been around people that'll only eat at like 2 places on the planet. And I'm like, my God, you know what you're missing in life?
I know, right? Exactly.
Don't eat seafood, period. What?
Hey, I can't say anything. My kids don't eat seafood.
I was married to a woman for 20 years. Maybe twice a year she would cook seafood, but she'd have a clothespin on her nose, goggles, and she hated the smell the fish or shrimp in the house, that kind of thing.
Red Lobster.
There you have it.
There you go. That was the only time I got seafood, or I mean, there were other times, but generally no. It was traveling, lunch.
Same here.
Yeah, so me
Beef,
and Nick.
chicken,
Yeah,
it.
me and Nick endured the same problem for 20 years, folks. Nothing.
Now, every time we have a meeting, where do we go?
Seafood.
Seafood.
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. We actually had what was it? We had that meeting with Abigail, and yeah, where do we go? Seafood.
Seafood. And what did we have? Like 4 different types of oysters. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, they were so good.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny though. But I mean, if you think about it, yeah, I'll eat crawfish now and shrimp, and I have it. Sometimes I'll bring it home cooked. But yeah, I mean, my kids don't eat it, but yeah, I still I'm a seafood. So even whenever I go to Tex-Mex, if I go to Papacitos, I get the brochette shrimp.
There you go.
That's the stuff.
All right, podcast has been cut early. We're hungry.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. So can't please everyone, man. So
You can't. I don't know why I still, at my 59 years of age, still try to do that.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. I made the comment. There was a person that walked the earth who was perfect, and he couldn't please everyone. Why are you trying to please everyone?
Absolutely. Good point. I don't know. I guess it's just in my, what do you want to call it? Second nature. That's just how I've done it, or what
You were conditioned.
Yeah. But my mother's not like that. And my dad wasn't around. He was gone when I was 2, and then my stepdad was around, and
I know.
He's a stand-up man. I mean, there's no man on this planet that I don't respect more than him,
I know. But you were conditioned not to upset your family members.
So how does that work? I got 4 kids. 3 of them are narcissists.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. My son Nicholas, I would determine that he was going to run a cult. This guy can manipulate the pants off of anybody, anywhere, at any time.
Well, remember, kids come from 2 parents.
Yes, and he's just like his mother.
Let's just be honest.
The pants off of me and the wallet out of my pocket, and
yeah, dude, you were like the perfect guy for her until you stood up for yourself.
See, and that's the way my relationship's been my whole life. Because I'm a pleaser. I don't. It's nothing for me if I start dating somebody. We're gonna go where she wants to go. We're gonna do what she wants to do, and then one day I'm gonna go, well, hey, I'd like to have a steak. And no, we're gonna go over here. No, we've been going over here for however long. Now we're gonna, and most of them are. I've conditioned, and this is not their fault. I conditioned them to take that control. And most of the women that I date are control freak narcissists, cheating, lying, sack of shits. Did I say that out loud?
This is why you like Emily King. This is why you like listening to, because she actually promotes you doing what's right for yourself and not letting the girl run all over you.
Right.
She
also promotes that a woman that has a man like me, she needs to be considerate of that fact, because I'd kill for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what, when, how, or where. But if you get to the point where, if we're laying in the bed watching TV and she's like, hey, I sure wouldn't mind some potato chips, I just hop right out of bed and get it. Right. Every time. But if I want something, I'm not going to ask her. And if I do, she's not going to do it.
Right.
Because I've conditioned her that I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Now, the way I was raised was, if you want something, get it yourself.
Right.
If I want a soda from the fridge, or chips, or donut, whatever's in the fridge, if I want something, I get up. I don't, even if she's in the refrigerator, it is hell for me to if I'm sitting on the couch drinking a beer and we're watching football on Sunday,
Right.
she's in the kitchen, okay?
Yeah.
Happy to do the cooking and all that stuff. And she's like, nope, I want you to sit down. And, at least she's making the effort to try. That's why I was married for 20 years. I can't cite her for everything. And I'm not a big football fan every once in a while.
Right.
I would get up and go to the fridge and get another beer. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm getting a beer.
Right.
She's like, why didn't you ask me? I was standing right here. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
See, and that's funny because the expression I would have gotten was, can't you see I'm busy cooking? Why can't you get up and get it yourself?
So see, there's that side.
Yeah, there's that side. So I will tell you this. This is funny. I did see a really interesting TikTok video the other day where this girl was talking, and I don't remember a lot of the TikTok video. I remember a couple of key points, but it started off with, if he buys me lunch, I buy him dinner. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah. And so if I want him to treat me like a queen, I need to treat him like a king.
Yes.
And I thought that was very interesting. Now, it's supposed to be a partnership. So, I mean, people can look at it in two different ways or whatever. We're not trying to say that they should be subservient. But I think the point of that whole TikTok was the working together.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. If you're trying to please everyone, are you really doing yourself any favors?
Are you really doing them any favors?
No, are you really doing them any favors?
I mean, because in relationships that I do that, I'm the one that's, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll go,
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're pleasing her all the time, are you pleasing everyone else?
Well, yes and no. If it's just her and I at the house and we're going to snuggle up and watch movies, right? I'm the one that's always getting up. I'm the one that's got to get the drinks. I'm the one that's got to get the snacks. I'm the one and I cook and and all. But the downside to that is, and I love doing it. I don't have a problem doing it. Here's the problem. She gets comfortable and overlooks the fact that she needs to reciprocate that. And I'm not doing it for her to reciprocate.
No, it's just,
I don't even think twice.
Right. Exactly.
She'll sit there and go, oh, them brownies you got are really good. I could sure use one. I don't even hesitate. She's not asking. She just wants a brownie. And I'll jump up and run to the kitchen and go get them.
Right.
The one time I did not respond, I'm like, oh, yeah, them brownies do sound really, really good. And she's just looking at me instead of because we started the movie. She's just staring at me like, what the hell? Why aren't you getting up? And she goes, you don't want a brownie? And we were already in a kind of a tiff. And I said, I would love one of those brownies, but I don't love them enough to get up and get one.
See, I would have said, yeah, I would love a brownie. When are you going to get me one?
And see, I should have said that. So you know what she did?
She what?
Got up.
Got her one.
Yep. And
Okay.
sat back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when you know you're in a bad relationship.
Oh, yeah. I literally got up and I'm like, see, I've been trying to explain to you what our problem is in a relationship. That arrogance right there is it. And I literally walked out and I haven't talked to her since.
Good for you. So the reason I said, I made the comment about, are you pleasing everyone? Is if you're in a bad relationship, are you pleasing your friends and family around you?
No. Because if you're in a bad relationship, obviously your friends and family don't like the person that you're with.
Yeah, because they know you're in a bad relationship. I'm just asking the question.
My family never liked anybody.
Well, okay, yeah, that's a hard one. Okay,
Maybe one.
Yeah, you know me. I mean, good friends, they'll tell you, look, we just want you to be happy. Whatever, that's the key point. Yeah.
Want you to be
Right. But it's kind of a hard thing to look at when you think of it in that aspect. I know Abigail wasn't happy with the relationship you were in because she thought you could do way better.
right.
She's been very blunt about that. She's been very
Yes.
vocal about it. And
I've been meaning to text her and tell her that I haven't talked to her. The one she wants me to get rid of. I've been meaning to text her.
but it's just because she cares.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part of it. She doesn't want to just take, she wants to give. She wants to give you friendship and advice because she knows you're a good person.
Right.
And it's so that's the hard part. And give and take, it's always a challenge, and making people happy. So I'll be honest with you folks. I'm probably the world's worst about making someone happy.
Why you say that? Why do you say that?
Well, okay, so let's go. I'll give you a couple examples. So I do make people happy. Okay, you can go back and listen to the intro to April just to get a really good idea of the hoops I jumped through.
Right.
For a successful date to make someone happy. But here's the key point. I gave her 3 choices of a restaurant. Who made those choices?
You did.
I did. She had to eliminate one. Who made the choice?
You did.
No, she did. She eliminated one.
She just okay.
She eliminates one. Okay.
She made the choice of eliminating the one.
Yeah, she makes the choice of eliminating the one. She doesn't want this restaurant. Okay. And then out of the 2, I made the final choice. Give, take. Give, take. It's about working together. If you start off on the first date with that, it sets the standard. I gave her a couple of flowers. At the end of the night, she gave me a kiss. It's a give and take.
Right.
I went out with one girl one time. We went out on 2 dates, and she asked me out for the 3rd. Give, take. And so that's what it's about.
So you have to set that up too. Maybe that's what I'm not doing. I'm not setting it up that way.
Yeah.
Maybe, I did a couple of dates, and I went on a date, a blind date or whatever date in your area. And I called and I'm like, hey, she lives over in your area. Give me some names of some restaurants.
Right.
And then basically you told me one, and that's where we went. I didn't even ask her. I said, meet me here.
Right.
So that was good. Of course, she, turned into a psycho.
Right.
They all do.
Yes, but I mean, the point is yes, you set the standard on that one because you chose the restaurant. Right. You were decisive. When, the big thing is, I know people, this is horrible to say, but it's a pretty funny joke across most platforms. Women are very indecisive when it comes to what they want to eat.
Right.
And so, if the woman has to choose, you're setting the standard for, okay, she's controlling the relationship.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's just about anything. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think that in the beginning, you have to be that kind of, I know I'm not going to please everyone, but if I please myself, at least I'm happy.
Right. I'm getting better in my old age because I will say I've learned to get my thought process into, because I'm sure my wife of 20 years, it drove her insane. What are you hungry for? I don't know. What are you hungry for? Oh, just pick something. Oh, well, I want this. I don't want that. We would do that banter almost every time.
Right.
And then the last 10, it'll be 11 years this year that I've been divorced. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, hey, meet me here.
Yeah.
And if they say, no, I don't really want to go there, I'd be like, all right. And I'm like, well, I was thinking about this place too, so I'm a little bit more in tune to it now that way
Yes.
than I was back in the day because I didn't care.
Yeah. No, and that's a fair point. Most of the time, we just want to go eat. We don't really care.
Right.
But I think it's easier for women to tell you what they don't want to eat than it is for them to tell you what they want to eat.
Definitely. And probably all of them they want you to make the decision because that's what they like.
Yes.
They want you to make the decision. This is where we're going.
That's why I do that whole 3 restaurant rule. I mean, I know people probably think it's crazy, but I picked 3. You get to choose what you don't want to eat, which is something easy they can do.
Right.
And then out of the last 2, I pick one.
Right.
And I think it's a win-win plan because you know what? It makes it easier. Most women know what they don't want to eat. And especially if they're going on a date, they know where they don't want to go because they want to dress a certain way. They want to make a certain impression. They may want to go somewhere they can feel comfortable.
Right.
So, how are we doing on time? Are we good?
Oh, man. Yeah, we're only 40 minutes in.
Oh, really? Okay.
20 minutes or, 50.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
So,
but it's a hard thing to navigate when you're empathetic. Empathetic. That's right. I said it right that time.
Yeah, you did.
Empathetic. So trying to please everyone you can't do it.
No.
But I guess I just continue to try. I'm on the backside of I don't want to argue, fight. I don't want to have even a heated discussion. I don't want to do any of that. And I was talking to a lady that I've worked with for probably 10 years, and she's been married now for like 3 or 4. And they watch she was telling me they watch a specific show that couples have to do something like The Amazing Race or whatever, and they're arguing the whole time. And he looked at her and he goes, I guess we have to watch all this drama on TV because we don't have any, because they don't fight. They never argue about anything.
Right.
They have their niche as a couple.
Right.
And they know how, and even on TikTok, I have several couple coaches that aren't necessarily psychologists or relationship coaches, or maybe they are, but they both go on there and they talk about how they maneuver their lives so that they're both happy all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the other flip side. You do a podcast.
Right.
Do you care what people think of the podcast?
Well, yeah.
You try to please everyone with the podcast?
Well, no. Stop and think about it now.
I do a better job of that than you do on the podcast.
But see, one of the things that I do in this, whenever we talk about a man does this or a woman does this, I always come back with, they both do it.
No, you're right. You do.
So the stories need to be told your significant other. And I try to clarify that as much as I can when I talk about it. Now, there are some dumbass things that men do, right? And women are Mars, men are from Venus kind of thing. There are some things that women do that drive men crazy and vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So with that being said, if you know what those things are, don't do them. I don't know.
No, but you know what I'm saying is you're not on this podcast to please everyone. Because if you were, you wouldn't talk about narcissists because you'd be there to please them.
Well, I'd like to please a couple million people.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a fair point.
I can quit IT and just keep podcasting. That would be nice.
I know. But see, that's pleasing yourself.
Oh, hey, good idea. Didn't think of it that way.
You are.
I would be the opposite thought process. I would be pleasing them, which pleases me.
Yes.
Not taking care of me and right there to you kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. But see, there is validity in that mentality. So there's nothing wrong with pleasing someone else so they can please you.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with pleasing your significant other and then pleasing you back. That should be the give and take.
Right.
You're putting out a really good podcast, and then people are rewarding you by being a fan.
And you have to handle that with kid gloves, because you can't look at your significant other and go, all right, you're cooking dinner, and when you're done, you're going to take care of me, and be snotty about it, or even brass or rude.
That's where the arrogant comes in. That's what you're afraid of, but you're not like that.
No, I can't. I'll be like, get your ass in the kitchen and cook, and then you're going to service me when you're done. I would never do that.
Right.
If I even started thinking about it, I'd be like, I'll just cook.
Yeah. See,
I'll pull my tail between my legs.
Okay, here's a good give and take. And I know you've done this. Honey, you cook the dinner, I'll wash the dishes.
Yeah.
What was wrong with that give and take?
Okay, so how about it this way? I'm the one, if she's cooking, I'm not sitting on the couch watching TV. I'm either standing in the kitchen talking to her, or in the kitchen cooking with her.
Oh, that's a good one. As long as you both wash the dishes together.
Right. And why does that even matter? Let's say we both cook together. She hates to do the dishes. Okay.
Yeah.
I do the dishes. Is it her turn to service, or, do my dishes or do my laundry? I mean, that's where couples need to sit down and go, okay.
Yeah, I know. I actually
heard a couple on TikTok say that no matter what, they never say no to their partner when it comes to sex. Never.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Okay.
If she's randy and grabs him and takes him to the laundry room, he can't say no.
Okay.
Even if he doesn't feel up to it.
Right.
And I was like, hey, whoa. What if the guy's nauseous and he can't achieve greatness to get, how does that work? Of course, you can't ask him questions on TikTok, but they said that, and I was like, how does that work? Where do I find a woman that will never say no to me, and I'll never say no to her for sure?
Right.
How does that work?
Yeah. Can't answer that one.
Where were those crickets?
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
Oh, it's birds, not crickets.
Okay. That's funny. It sounds like crickets.
Yeah. But I mean, those are the things that go through my crazy head when I always think about pleasing everybody,
Right. I know.
And the people, like even my boss, I want to please him, but it'll conflict with the way he's thinking of things. Because, hey, Nick, I need you to take care of this. If he leaves me and lets me take care of it, it'll get done. Maybe not the way he did it. We've had conversations about that.
Right. Goal versus task. Yeah.
So if he stands over my shoulder and says, no, you need to do it this way, no, you need to do it this way, then we're going to have a problem.
Exactly.
Because there's no give and take. The boss that I have now, he's like, Nick, I need you to take care of this. And he walks away. And even if he gives me a deadline, look, I need this in 3 days. Done.
Right.
So I'm in a pretty good place with the boss right now. Mark my words, right now. If I can keep going good, I can retire before he gets pissed off at me.
Okay, fans.
You can hear that in my voice,
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. Start following us more. Share us with your friends, because he wants to retire. That's what he's trying to say.
I would do this until I'm 100 years old, because it's easy to sit here and talk about the crazy shit that I do on a daily basis.
That's funny. So, our lives, I mean, come on. Every day you deal with something new, something, whatever, crazy, So, yeah. Trust me. I know. But, oh my God. Yeah. You're not going to please everyone. Here's the whole thing. If we could please everyone would have 100 million subscribers on TikTok.
Yeah. And that's just
not feasible. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely not feasible.
Right. So, I mean, and that if think of it in the grand scheme of things, I mean, that's what it boils down to, you know?
Well, stop and think about this. All these people in this world that have taken Elon Musk,
Yes.
think he cares about pleasing anybody?
No.
Bezos, you think he cares? Bill Gates. I mean, I could go
Donald
on for.
Trump?
You think they care about pleasing people?
No.
They care about taking care of people, but
No, they
I,
care about business.
they care about money.
Yeah, they care about business and what does it take to make money. And in some aspects, and if you think about this, like on Microsoft, they're not going to please everyone because there are plenty of people out there that will only buy a Mac or an Apple and they will never touch a Microsoft product.
Right.
Okay, you know, is Mac or Apple any better? No. You know,
Depends on who you ask,
exactly. There's the point. Depends on who you ask. But in the grand scheme of things, neither one of them's any worse or better. You know, the only reason Microsoft's probably on top right now is because of the ability to install all these apps and applications. You know, Mac, it's a little more difficult. Mac's a little more locked down. It's based on a Unix shell, so it's a lot more controlled.
Right.
You know,
They focus their attention on other areas,
yes.
not just wide open code.
Yes. And so that's the big difference, you know. So Microsoft is, you know, they're trying to please because they want the bigger market. They want because that's where the money's at. So they are doing things, but they also do things to piss people off.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. But it's so funny that you look at that, those people aren't trying to please people, but they all say that people like that are sociopaths. They have no emotions, no feelings. They only care about the business and making it successful.
Yes.
I mean, all of them.
Yes.
Bezos, is he married? Dating? Nope. Elon Musk, married? Dating? Nope. Bill Gates, he tried it, didn't fare well, And who was the one what's the guy's name that did the Mac?
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs, he tried marriage, had kids, that he was a terrible father and a terrible husband and divorced and, all that. Sociopaths, that's what they say. People with that kind of mentality are sociopaths. They just don't murder, I guess.
Right.
They just have no feeling. All they want is, I'm sure that Elon Musk and Bezos, that's all they do when they wake up in the morning. They think about how to make my business better. At the end of the day, they go to bed thinking about, okay, I need to think about how to make my business better. And oh my God, isn't it better? Isn't it enough? When is enough?
Right. And see, all I'm trying to do every day is how can I make a better life for my kid?
Yep. Not worried about you. Worried about your kid.
Well, I am worried about me because my health can affect my kids' happiness and health.
But you just saying that, your first thought process is not you, kids.
Yes.
That now you and I are on the same page because that's what I do. I've screwed up promotions and turned down promotions over my entire life so that I can coach my kids or be with my kids, and now they're all in their 20s or whatever, and they don't give a damn about me. I got to beg them to spend time with them, except for the youngest one. He hangs out.
I know. But part of that is when they're taken care of, I do focus on myself. I do take care of me.
Right.
Because what?
After the fact. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
we have to take
not even somewhat after the fact. It's.
But that's the way I think.
Yes, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. As parents, we're always trying to do the best we can for our kids because we want them to have a better life than we did. Okay? I don't disagree with that. I wanted my kids to have a better life than I did. Okay? But if you don't look after yourself and your mental health, what are you teaching your kids?
Exactly. Absolutely 100% exactly.
So I do play video games. Play video games with my kids. That way we both can get fun, you
Right.
know? And so, I do this podcast. This is something that's mine, you know?
Yeah, we
My kids, I kick them to the curb. They got to go in their room and go hang out and play a video game, whatever. They're not complaining. Let's just be honest.
they're not.
Dad still feeds them. Dad still takes care of them. He still gets everything he does. So, is there any harm in me doing a podcast, something that I enjoy?
No.
And see, that's the take. I'm taking a piece, a hobby, and doing something I enjoy. Your take is your motorcycle.
Yep.
If you think about it, that's your take. You haven't been able to do it a lot lately, but that's your take.
Well, at this point in stage of my life, my kid lives with me, but he's 19.
I know.
So, he's got a job, he's taking care of business and all that stuff. So I don't really, of course, I don't charge him rent and stuff like that, which is probably a bad thing.
I don't charge mine rent. $100 a month.
You still charge him though.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because I think it needs to teach them responsibility. I got a 19-year-old. What's he going to do when he has to pay rent? He's going to freak out.
Right.
So,
Right.
And he's a lot more nonchalant about, I don't like this job because he's just doing menial stuff till he gets his schooling done or, decides he's going to get in the military, which we're hoping, but in the meantime, he's going to drag his feet because he has it. That's the problem with my 40-year-old youngest brother.
Right.
My dad has bought him a car, bought him a house, bought them and gives him money. So he really doesn't have to work and never has.
See, and that's something different. Okay, so my 24-year-old, yes, he lives at home so he can go to college, but I don't pay his truck. I don't pay his insurance. I don't pay his phone.
Right. You're teaching him to be responsible.
Right. You want that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah. And he lost
If you were a millionaire, you could say, look, as long as you're going to college, I'll get you a decent vehicle and I'll pay for everything. That kind of deal. That's what my stepdad did to his first son, which was my youngest brother.
Right. Right. But the problem is most parents, they're like, okay, if you go to college, I'll take care of you. There's a difference between taking care of and spoiling.
I got an example for that.
Oh, really? Okay, go ahead.
Our director, when you were working, our director.
Yes.
He started a business and he made plenty of money.
Okay.
Like plenty of
Right.
So when he left that company, they bought him out.
Right.
For probably several $1 million.
Yes.
He still wanted to work. So he got a job here at Enterprise and worked his way up to director. And he told me his entire paycheck was divided into son and the daughter.
What?
Now at director level, how much money you think he's making?
150 to 200.
Okay. Divide that by 2.
Yeah.
He's giving to them kids while they're going to college. So them kids are walking away with $6,000 to $10,000 a month.
And they're not doing anything but going to college.
Yeah. Driving Audis and, living
BMWs. Yeah, exactly.
Living in apartments, not counting his bonus was probably $500,000 or, $250,000.
Right.
But my point is when he started working here, his whole paycheck was split in half and given to his kids while they were going to college.
Dude, that's extreme.
Yeah. Sure is.
No
but
offense.
He did it. He could afford it. Would you do it?
No. Hands
if you
down.
were making $1 million a year,
so
you'd still make your kid be responsible for certain things.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
See, now I might pay for a vehicle. Like if he wanted a truck, I'd buy him a truck.
Yeah, and not no $200,000 vehicle. We're talking about a nice
$50,000.
50,000, 40 grand,
Yeah.
nice truck, reliable, looks good. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Not a freaking, whatever the $110,000 Dodge
and
racing truck. Yeah. I ain't doing that. Excuse my language. I ain't doing that.
I ain't
Anyway.
doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the whole thing is you're not doing those kids any favors. Okay. And he really isn't. Let's just be honest. Because when they get out in the real world, I'm going to use the hit by a bus situation. If he got hit by a bus, how are they going to handle?
Right.
I mean, no offense, but he's not doing them any favors.
Yeah, see, that's what my dad's doing to my youngest brother. He's not doing him any favors. Now he's starting to realize it.
Yeah. He's really
And
not.
now has no discernible skills. I mean, he's 40 years old, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad. Warren Buffett, all of his money when he dies is going to charity. All of it.
Right.
And the media swarmed his son, and his son said, I don't need his money. I made my own millions.
Yeah.
He taught me how to make my own millions. Millions.
Exactly.
So he doesn't need the $40 billion that he has. Now, wait a minute. $40 billion? I don't even know what Warren Buffett is worth, but he's worth God awful.
He's more than that.
Yeah. So being that kind of money, if you're going to give it away to charity, what charity is worth that kind of money? One charity, you're going to spread billions of dollars over what? Pay the debt down. Give it to Trump, he'll screw it up, or give it to Biden, he'll screw it up. Obama, I don't care whether it's a Democrat or I don't care about the politics. No matter who you give it to, they're going to screw it up.
Yeah. No, exactly. They're going to spend the hell out of it.
Yeah.
No, I know. As long as he gave like $1 billion to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, I wouldn't care.
There you go.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's all we need. It would work.
So, because we definitely need more help with mental health in this world.
Yes, we do.
So,
we absolutely do.
Yeah. So, but that's a very, very interesting point. In that, you're right. Your dad's pleasing your son, and he's not. Now, are you doing the same thing for your kids?
Am I?
Yes.
No.
You learned.
Well, yeah. Now, see, that's another thing. My stepdad, who I would consider my dad. I mean,
we talked about his last name's O'Donohoe. Yeah.
Right. So he did not treat me like that.
Right.
Not even close. I'll give you a perfect example. I was going to college and strapped for cash. I just quit skiing. I was going back to college to get my degree, and I had enough money to pay my tuition and books, and I had my finances laid out for the next 6 months.
Right.
How much it was cost me to eat, and I was going to eat at the same place every day, that kind of thing, right? I needed a calculator for my one trigonometry class or whatever it was I was taking, and the calculator was $120. And I asked my dad for it, and he's like, "Sorry, you got to figure it out on your own."
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that thing actually turned out pretty good because I ended up meeting a couple of friends in the class, and they allowed me to share their calculator to do my homework.
Right.
We'd meet somewhere, and they would do their math homework while I'd do my biology, and then they do their biology while I.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's good. I mean, you were able to figure out a plan.
I figured out how to work it out. Plus, they were really cute girls.
Oh, yeah. So it was a win-win.
That was a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's too funny. But yeah, it's funny that you say it, but then I ask you the question and you're like, yeah, but I'm not. You don't want to make the same mistake that your dad's doing with the youngest kid.
Yes.
with your own. So,
And I'm back about it now. Andrew's between jobs,
right,
and he's studying to get himself so that he can either go to college or go to the military. And the battery crashed in his car.
right,
I bought him a new battery. He's like, Dad, I'm getting my income tax in a couple weeks. I'll pay you back.
right.
And I said, okay. And I will take him up on that, even if I take his last $150 for the battery out of his pocket. I will take it. I will feel like shit doing it, but I will take it.
Right. Okay, so
No.
I've got a great comment for you, and I just want you to think about this.
Okay.
Okay. If you were married, okay, or just give an example, just a friend who's a woman, and she's getting treated badly by her husband, and she has a daughter. What is she teaching her daughter?
To accept bad behavior.
To accept bad behavior.
Yes.
So, by the same token, shouldn't you be teaching your kids how you should be treated by a woman?
Yes.
Are you?
No. Hell no. I don't know how to do that, I guess. You know?
I wasn't. I wasn't trying to put him on the spot. I mean, yes, I was. I was. But
it makes sense, though.
But
that's the pleasing part, that you overlook the value part.
Yes, self-value. Remember we talked about in the previous episode. Because if you have your own self-value, you won't let people just... It doesn't matter if you're trying to please them. There is a value. And you got to remember that. So that was my only, Nick knew I was going, and it's one of those, even for your fans, he already knew it. It's an aha moment if you think about it, though.
Yes.
Honestly, look at your kids and think about how you want your kids to be treated. If you wouldn't want your kids to be treated that way, why would you let you be treated that way?
True.
And because if you do, you're telling them it's okay.
Yep.
And so that's my only comment. Nick knew I picked on him a little bit. He knew it was coming.
But no, that's exactly what this podcast is about, is to bring those things front and center. I know I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect.
None of us are.
And I'm not one to go, well, if it was, it's your fault. And if he would have done, or she would, I don't want to do that. I want to stand right up and puff my chest out and went, I'm the one that made that mistake, and I'm going to learn from it.
Right. Exactly.
My kid's having troubles with his car. We're talking about that, right? He just got a new battery, but for some reason, I think the alternator's bad, and I think it tore up the last battery.
Right.
Well, after a couple of days, the car dies.
Right.
Andrew's like, hey, Dad, can I borrow the truck? And I'm like, what do you need it for? He's like, we need to go get the Jeep and get the battery out of it, go charge it up so that we can get the Jeep out of the gas station.
Right.
So it sat there overnight, and he took my personal truck while I went to work in my work truck. And then tonight he's like, hey, Dad, can I borrow the truck? And I'm like, nope, nope, not tonight. I got a podcast I don't want to be sitting here worried about, blah, blah, blah. So I was proud of myself because I wanted to just hand him the keys and go do whatever you want,
Right.
But it's not good for him.
No. He needs to take responsibility and get that vehicle fixed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't say any of that, but he knew what I was talking about.
Right. Right.
And guess what? He found a way to get wherever he needed to go because he's not here. So it worked out for everybody.
You're so funny.
Yes, my truck is still out in the parking lot locked up. So.
Yeah, there you go. But no, folks, I mean, think about it. So when you listen to these podcasts, yeah, we have a lot of fun, but we do have some serious, and we're telling our stories because we're hoping you can look at them and say, oh, that's happening to me too.
Oh my God, there's no way that these situations not the exact situation that we're dealing with.
Oh, I bet you there's some exact
Everybody on this
situations.
planet doing it. I don't care how rich or how poor you are.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a situation that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And it's
100%.
funny because there are people out there thinking, why is this happening to me? Why am I the only one that's no.
You're not the only one.
No.
Yeah.
No. We're all idiots. We're all smart. We're all stupid. We're all brilliant. We all have our moments,
Yeah.
talented. We're clumsy. We're all of it.
Yeah.
All these years of being a professional water skier, I could still trip over my foot and bust my face open. It's just the way it's life.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about this.
Yeah.
It's life.
So, yeah, folks, come on. And that's the key point. While you may not be listening to us every time, maybe your friend needs to hear one of our podcasts.
Yes.
Share us out there because, we talk about real life and that's what it's about.
If you got something you think we need to talk about and us tell you about what's going on in our life with a particular situation, send us an email.
Exactly. I will. And we've gotten some feedback, folks. We've done a couple of episodes on feedback from our fans.
Yes.
So please, don't be afraid. You want to hear us talk about something and about the problems we've encountered in our lives? We got no problems with that. You may not want to talk about your problems because I know a lot of people don't want to air their problems out.
Air their dirty laundry. Once it's on the internet, it stays there.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I haven't done anything that affects me by talking about it.
Yeah.
I know who I am. I'm a caregiver and I need to work more on me and my confidence. But it doesn't bother me one bit to talk about this stuff on the internet because I know millions of people out there having the same problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Same issues.
Yeah, exactly, man. So there's a whole race of dwarves out there that share your same problem. Anyway, I'm just teasing.
They have to be bald dwarfs.
Okay, whatever. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I actually have been seeing one of the comedian guy. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's funny as hell. I make fun of Nick's height all the time, folks. He knows I'm just teasing. It's
the story of my life. I've had it. I have been vertically challenged my entire life, and I've learned to live with it and make joke about it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, and we're good friends, so I'm at a stage where I know I can go, and that's a boundary I can, I can make a joke about and not break a boundary. So,
yeah,
that's the key point is we know there are things we can joke with each other about, and we're not going to hurt each other's feelings. So, yeah, I'm not trying.
With relationships, setting boundaries is imperative.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. All relationships.
All of them.
Yes. So, dude, thank you.
Thank you.
It's
a good episode. I like it.
It was a good episode. Fans, of course, follow us, share us, like us. We have been putting the videos on YouTube. So
Yes.
It's no longer just an audio with a picture. We've been actually doing some back-end editing, and we've started to upload some episodes. We're not going to be able to upload all the first 40 or so, but we've been doing quite a few lately. So we hope you guys enjoy seeing our facial expressions. Nick is insanely crazy with his facial expressions. I sit here and watch some of these, and oh my God, it's hilarious. So what, dude? You're great.
No, I mean, it's funny because all those years of being an entertainer, I'm in front of everybody. So you have to exaggerate everything. I'm not as good as I used to be, but yeah,
Yeah, and I'm sitting there watching myself, and I'm sitting there and I'm like reading this or doing this, and I'll laugh, and but I'm not exaggerated as like you are. So it's kind of funny. I sit there and think about it, and I think, who is it? What's his name? It's a morning sports show, Payne and Pendergast. I don't know if you've ever seen. They do the TV show, and the guy is literally talking on the mic, and he's sitting there grabbing a form, and he's reading the stats, and he's doing this, and he's like faceless, and it's completely expressionless. And every once in a while, Pendergast or Payne will make a comment, and the other guy will make like a little, smirk or a little funny laugh or whatever. But yeah, he's steadily doing stuff, and constantly, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, oh, I'm like a radio announcer. That's it's what I feel like.
People, I'm trying to break Jay of this. I don't know what happens when he hits record, but right before he hit record, his ass was dancing in front of his mic.
Oh, whatever.
Literally. And he just look, watch him turn red. If you get a chance to see this on YouTube, you gotta watch him turn red, because he was just getting. Look at him, see? Before the camera started, then he got all, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah. Hey, come on, we have a lot of fun. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jay from Jaytalk. Yeah, I know, that's funny. So, we've been having fun with that, all the different announcing voices. So I can have fun too, but it's funny watching myself. It's almost as painful as listening to your own voice. It's really hard to listen to my own voice. I've had people tell me, you're fine, it sounds great. And, I've had a couple of girls, oh, you have a sexy voice.
Yep.
But dude, it's painful for me to hear myself on a recording. And doing the TikTok thing, it's painful watching myself on the TikTok. That is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not as good looking as Nick.
Videotape it. I just know I've had people listen to my podcast and look at me and go, you're such a dork. Okay, that's who I am.
Yeah, I know.
That's,
Yeah. Oh, no. When I go out with someone, I'm weird. No, you're not. Yeah, I am. No, you're not. Yeah, I'm pretty weird, and I'm proud of it.
I wouldn't say weird. Blatantly honest is always going to be your claim to fame.
Whatever. That's true, though. Well, I saw a really funny TikTok. Excuse folks, I'm gonna wrap up the show after tell this funny one. I saw I think it was a TikTok, and it said, "What's your weakness? Honesty." Well, I don't think honesty is a weakness. Fuck you. What? Okay. I don't care what you think. Oh, he's good.
Yep.
There you go. I'm sorry. I thought that was hilarious.
If you got an attitude like that, yes, honesty might be a weakness.
Yeah, exactly, right? I thought it was funny. I just wanted to share that with you folks.
That's good stuff.
Yes, it is. So, well, we got to wrap it up here, folks. We hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, you can't please everyone.
Yeah. Don't try.
And, love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
And for you folks out there, we love you too. Keep listening. Keep following.